So when I was younger, I always wondered how some of the top footballers could always thrive under pressure. I wanted to be clutch like CR7, clutch like Neymar, clutch like guys like Didier Drogba, you understand? But sometimes I could never just do it. In the big games, I'd be nervous before the game, and sometimes I'd even crumble on a match day. But as I got older, as the years passed on, I managed to figure out how to handle pressure better. So today I'll be teaching you as a young footballer how to handle pressure better so you can thrive in those high pressure situations and you can be known as a clutch footballer. So in my opinion, the main way to handle pressure better is to change the way how you see pressure. You understand? You need to change your viewpoint on how you see pressure. A lot of players see pressure as a threat, but in my opinion, what worked for me was that I saw pressure as an opportunity to showcase my talent. You understand? It's something that you have to run towards. You have to run towards the pressure. See it as an opportunity to showcase your talent. A lot of players, maybe before big games, before big matches, when it's a high pressure game, maybe it's a cup semi-final or cup final, or whether it's like an open trial for like a high level team, a lot of players will start to visualize the worst, them giving the ball away, them incompleting a dribble. Perhaps maybe they're a winger and they get tackled by their fullback, they fail the dribble. Maybe it's a striker and he missed a big chance. Maybe it's a centre back and he got cooked by a striker. You understand? It's just one of them things where players, myself included, when I was younger, I start to visualize the worst. For some reason, I start to visualize the worst. I'll start to think, oh, me giving the ball away, me not playing well, me getting overrun in the midfield, all these sort of negative things, because it was the pressure was getting to me. However, as I got older, I basically just saw pressure as a thing of like, yo, this is an opportunity to showcase who I actually am. Like, what's the point in me being nervous? Like, I'm here to actually showcase who I am. I need to see how I measure up against these players, you understand? Because you know, when you're nervous, when you're lacking confidence, you're not yourself, you understand? You're not yourself as a footballer. You start doing things to the point where you're like, yo, this isn't me. Like, you see, when you're in bad form, you're in low confidence, you start doing things that you wouldn't normally do, or you start hesitating in areas which you wouldn't. Like, let's say you're a winger and you're lacking confidence. Let's say normally you'd get the ball on the half turn and you start going at your winger, but when you're low on confidence, you don't want to go at that winger anymore. You start passing back, you start passing sideways, you start becoming negative, you start becoming less effective, you understand? So in my opinion, start seeing pressure as an opportunity to shine. You know what I'm saying? Opportunity to shine. And the thing is, it's much better that you go out there, you do your best, you play your game, and then you fail, you understand? Maybe you just didn't have a good game that day, you understand? Rather than being nervous, not showing for the ball. Because if you're nervous, you don't show for the ball, you don't actually showcase who you are as a player, you're going to come off that pitch and be like, yo, I could have done a lot more. And in my experience, that's the worst feeling as a footballer, where you know you were nervous and you could have done way more. You look back at that game and you're like, yo, that's not me, you understand? Whereas I feel like it's much better to the point where maybe you didn't have the best game, but you still went out there, you still did your best, you still played your game. Let's say you're a winger, you still try to go at your man. If you're a centre mid, you still showed for the ball in good areas, you still made good passes. Yes, you gave the ball away a few times, but yo, you still pretty much showcased who you are. At least the coaches can see, yo, what type of player you are. Maybe you were picking the right passes, but the execution just was a bit off that day, you understand? It just wasn't your day. That is a much better feeling than going home after a big game or a big like trial match thinking, yo, like, nah, I crumbled under the pressure. Like, that wasn't me. Like, they didn't even get to see like what type of player I am. I look like a completely different player than usual that game, you understand? So in my opinion, start seeing pressure as a thing where it's like, yo, it's an opportunity for me to shine. For example, penalty shootout. Start seeing as an opportunity to help your team win, rather as an opportunity to, you know, sit back and let other people take the pens. Because what's the reason why people don't want to step up for penalties? What's the first thing that comes to their mind? Oh, if I miss, it's a high pressure situation. Oh, if I miss, I might be the one that gets the blame. I might be the one that loses my team the penalty shootout. Now you have to reframe your mindset. Reframe your mindset to be like, yo, I'm going to step up for this pen because I need to help my team win the penalty shootout. I believe in myself. I'm going to help my team win this penalty shootout because, yo, I can't let anyone else take it. I need to make sure that it's me. I want to have a part to play. I want to have a part to play in the team's success. Whether it's that you take the first pen to like set the tone for your team, get your team off to a good start, whether it's the third pen just to keep your team in the game, or whether it's the fifth pen to ultimately help your team win the whole penalty shootout, you understand? Imagine if you step up for the fifth pen. Yeah, it's high pressure, but it's an opportunity to see what you're really made of, you understand? This is what I'm saying. See pressure as an opportunity. See as a chance to be like, alright, cool, what am I really made of? Like, can I really do this? Like, can I handle the pressure? Can I play at a high level? Let's see. And if you miss, fair enough. At least you had the balls to step up. You understand? You had the balls to step up. Nobody else wanted to take that responsibility. They can't really blame you for, you know, missing a pen that nobody else wanted to take. And if you score, think about the confidence it's gonna give you. Think about the feeling that you're gonna get home after the game and you're gonna be like, yo, I really stepped up under the pressure. You understand? You're gonna be seen as a hero by your teammates, by your coaches. You know, anyone who's watching, you won your team the game, you stepped up for that fifth pen. So just always see quote unquote pressure situations as an opportunity. And the thing is, pressure is all in your mind as well. Pressure is literally all in your mind. Pressure is what you make it, because maybe a high pressure situation for you might not be a high pressure situation for another player. Maybe it's a game where this game really means a lot to you and it's really high pressure, whereas maybe a guy on the other team, yo, this is just a normal day for him. This is just a game where it's just like, yeah, if we win, cool. If we lose, cool. I'm just going to go out there, play my game. You know what I'm saying? Pressure is all in the mind. You know, pressure is all in the mind, because at the end of the day, whether it's a cup final, whether it's like the 7th league game of the season, it's still football at the end of the day. The pitch is still 11 aside. It's still the same size pitch. It's still the same size goals. There's still an 18-yard box, a 6-yard box. What's the only difference? It's just the pressure that's all in your mind. It's literally just all in your mind. But if you don't see it as a threat, if you don't see it as a thing where you need to avoid, but you see it as a thing where you need to step into that pressure, it's an opportunity for you to shine on the biggest stage, to show people that you are a good player, then yo, that's how you do it. That's the mindset you need to have in order to handle pressure in big situations. So let me use two examples. This season, we saw PSG in the Champions League. Now, if you watch, you know, the PSG games, they were brilliant throughout the whole tournament. You understand? They were brilliant throughout the whole tournament. But obviously, they get to the final. And the thing is with PSG, their fans are crazy, you know what I'm saying? Their fans were craving that Champions League trophy. They needed to win that. Like, their fans needed to win that. There was probably so much quote-unquote pressure on the PSG players to, you know, deliver, to actually bring that Champions League home. Obviously, I think they were probably the favourites going into the game against Inter. Think about, you know, the history of PSG, them bottling it in the Champions League, being called quote-unquote bottlers, you know, losing leads, the 6-1 loss to Barcelona, when Man United came back against them, when Real Madrid came back against them, you know, Benzema hat-trick, all of these things. So all of the players, they're supposed to be carrying that pressure, but what do? They didn't see it as a thing of like, oh, what about if we bottle it? What about if we do this? What about if, you know, oh, we can't bring the Champions League home once again? You know what I'm saying? They went out there and they were like, yo, look at the way they play. They look like a team on a mission. They saw it as an opportunity to become heroes for their club, you understand? Now all of them are now heroes. Guys like Doué, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Vitinha, all these guys, Fabian Ruiz, Marquinhos, all these guys, they just went out there and they just had the mentality of like, yo, they weren't even thinking about if they lost. Enrique was probably saying to them, yo, he didn't even mention losing. He just said, yo, guys, if you win this game and you can be legends, you understand? You could be heroes for this club, because we all know that PSG ultras, them man are crazy. Their fans show out, you know what I'm saying? Their fans show out every single game. Probably the most passionate fans in Europe. And he was probably saying to them in the change room, yo, and they were probably saying to each other that, yo, even though it's a high pressure situation, they weren't even thinking about the negatives. They were just so focused on, yo, we could become absolute legends here. We have a chance to win the Champions League trophy, biggest trophy in club football, you understand? And they went out there and they balled out, you know what I'm saying? They balled out 5-0. Absolute domination, you understand? And the second example was Tottenham Hotspur as well. Tottenham Hotspur against Man United, bro. Tottenham, like I said, Tottenham could have been feeling the pressure. You know, Tottenham are bottlers. They never get it done. They haven't won a trophy in 17 years. And all that pressure could have been, you know, coming onto the players. You know, Ange Postecoglou, he was under pressure as well. But the thing is, what do? The same thing with PSG. They were just probably like, yo, they didn't even, you know, accept losing. You know, in the warm-up, I saw them in the warm-up. I remember I was looking at them. They all looked locked in. They were just focused on, yo, if we win this trophy, if we win this Europa League, we could become legends at this football club. You understand? We could become the team that, you know, broke that trophy drought. What, the 17-year trophy drought? You know, we could beat Man United, win our first European trophy, win a European trophy before Arsenal. Probably they were just thinking all these things. They saw the pressure as an opportunity, you understand? That's the whole point I'm trying to make. They saw the pressure as an opportunity, and guess what? They got it done. It was only a 1-0 game, but let's be honest, over the course of the game, they were probably the better team. They deserved to win, you understand? They got the goal and they did their job. Yes, Man United had a lot of possession, but Man United didn't really create too many chances, you understand? Spurs did their job. They were probably the better team. They got their goal. They sat back in the low block and they did their thing. They did what they set out to accomplish. So yeah, that's what I mean by pressure. Seeing pressure as an opportunity and not a threat. Don't forget all the bad things about pressure. Just focus on all the good things. See it as an opportunity to, like I said, whether it's that you have trials for academy, Don't see it as a thing of like, oh, what about if I'm not good enough to play with the academy ballers? Nah, just go out there, play your game, and at least see if you're good enough. You know what I'm saying? At least see where you measure up, and think about all the good things. Think about you signing your first contract. Think about you potentially down the line making your debut for the first team. See that, see those academy trials as, the first step into achieving what you want to achieve as a footballer. You understand? But yeah, that's the video on how to handle pressure. You can't see pressure as a threat, as something to avoid. See pressure as something to step into, something where you can showcase your talent. Yeah, something that you go towards. Like, see pressure as an opportunity always. So that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.